Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to my fall 2019 box office predictions. So, today we're going to be talking about the Addams Family animated reboot. We're going to talk about its pros and its cons. So, let's get to it. Pros, well, when it comes to competition, there really isn't much for the Addams Family to deal with. I mean, sure, there's the still going to be the big movie, Joker, but the audience for Joker and the audience for this, like those two audiences couldn't be any more different. So Adam's Family won't have to worry about that. And the last family film that came out was Abominable, and that movie didn't do great. In fact, it did quite poor for a DreamWorks movie. So it's not gonna. So Adam's Family won't deal with any direct competition from that. It may, well, I'm not going to say may, it will have to deal with competition from Maleficent 2, but we're not talking about Maleficent 2. We'll get to that movie when I make a video on that. But right now, we're going to talk about this. And next pro, I think the release date for this film is pretty much perfect. I mean, it's October. It's the spooky month. And the Addams Family is always known for being spooky and creepy and horror themed. So it's perfect. And when it comes to animated movies in the fall, I think the two movies that really stick out are the first two Hotel Transylvania movies. I mean, technically, those movies came out in late September, but they made the majority of their money in October. And they were, I mean, a bit more cartoonish, even more cartoonish than this. A bit more comedy based, but it still had, monsters and ghouls and Dracula and all that good stuff. But the thing is, those movies were made by Sony, which means they had bigger advertising campaigns, bigger everything. But I still think the release date for this film could benefit it. And when it comes to the Addams Family name, the first Addams Family, which came out in like 1991, and it was actually made by Barry Sonnenfeld, who would go on to make the first three Men in Black movies. We Don't Count International wasn't made by him, and I like to pretend that movie doesn't exist. And that movie was very successful back in the day. It's considered a classic at this point. So, I mean, what could go wrong? Well, I'll tell you what can go wrong. Let's go with the cons. Let's go right to the cons. Cons. Thing is, the original Addams Family was a hit. Its sequel, however, was not. In fact, I have to look this up on my laptop that's off screen. The sequel bombed hard when it came out. It made a fraction of the first movie. And that sequel, the sequel was considered better than the first movie, so that's kind of strange. And the fact that those movies came out in the early 90s, this is 2019, like almost, let's see, I'm doing the math, like almost 30 years later. Like, what kid in 2019 is gonna look at this and be like, look, mommy, it's the Addams Family? No, they're not gonna care about this. They're gonna be, thinking about other things. They're probably just gonna wait to see Frozen 2, which would probably be a better decision. And, so that's a problem. I don't think, like, kids today are going to be very interested in this movie or, like, the Addams Family brand. And also, it's a bit of a side tangent, but I gotta talk about this. These posters. This. Okay. Now, the Addams Family, it's 2019. You gotta appeal to the youth. You gotta appeal to the young crowd. So they made these character posters you see right here. This is the one you see right here. They made a couple of these you see on the bottom. Right? It has like a somewhat modern phrase, modern slang. But like the thing about it is that this type of stuff immediately dates the movie horribly. This is the worst by far. Straight out of Coffin. Get it? Get it? You laughing? You feel dead inside? Well, I definitely feel dead inside after looking at this abomination of a poster. These posters are just the visual definition of the "how you do, fellow kids" meme, where an old person is trying to act cool. They're trying to connect with young people, but it's not working, and it's failing miserably. That's what's happening here. So these posters aren't gonna help the movie at all. But back to its box office. All right. So, opening weekend, how do I think it's gonna do? It should. I mean, it's not being released by a major animation studio, not like Disney or it's not like Disney, Pixar, Illumination. It's a little more B level type, so expectations are not going to be too high. It should at least match Abominable. It has to match that. At least 20 million would be okay for this movie. Ideally, it would be better if it opened higher than that, but 20 million wouldn't be horrible. So I'm just going to say 20 to 25 million. That's what I'm saying for its opening weekend. And overall, probably reach like 70 to 80 million, which again, for, the a B-level animated film, that's fine. It's not strong, but it's not a disaster either. So, yeah, that's the Addams Family reboot. What do I gotta do next? Oh, Gemini Man. A movie, I don't even call it Gemini Man. I just call it YouTuber Will Smith versus Fresh Prince Will Smith. That's what I call it. I have to talk about that. Then I have to talk about Jexy. Because people are just so excited about Jexy, right? Exactly. No one cares about it. So, that is all. Make sure to subscribe. Like this video, leave a comment. If you want to go check out my other fall predictions, I forgot to mention that in my Joker video. Want to check out all my other box office predictions I made for the fall? I have a playlist for that. Still have to do my September recap. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, that is all, and I am out.